All right, welcome to a special episode of Bum with a Wrench. I'm your host Daniel, and standing next to me, or sitting next to me, is a very unique 1963 Ford Fairlane. This one on the show is going to be here for, I don't know, I'll probably have 4 or 5 days. The owner wants me to put some gauges in it for him. So it just came out of the body shop, new paint job, so let's check it out. They say this color is seafoam. More looks like it's really unique. I don't remember seeing anything like this before. It's a really cool color. It's definitely got a neat look to it. So this car has roughly 7,000 miles on it. It was dug out of the desert. The original owner had was driving it back and forth to work, and he worked down the street at a airport, and so it barely got any miles put on it. It was original 289 car, and now it's got a 302 in it. So somewhere in its life, the motor got changed to a 302, which honestly you can't tell the difference. Beautiful color. Honestly, it's hard to not love cars like this. So let's get this thing loaded up and get it back to the shop. All right, got the trailer put away. That thing's pretty cool, I gotta admit. You know, one of the highlights to this job is having some of the coolest equipment. That trailer makes rescues and just picking stuff up so much easier. The winch is remote controlled, the deck is remote controlled. The whole thing is really just awesome. I love that trailer. So we got the car in the shop. Let's take a look at this thing. And you'll notice that I was moving pretty fast when we were over at the paint shop, because I was just wanted to get it loaded and get it out of there. But I wanted, you know, because I'm gonna have this on the channel, I want to kind of show you guys the process. Even though this car's not going to stay here, it's not going to get finished here. It's still really cool. So let's take a look. So at the paint shop, you know, I went over it real fast, but the paint looked really nice. It is really nice, don't get me wrong. But you bring it underneath fluorescent light, LED light, and man, I mean, you know, it definitely changes things. So, you know, how you look at paint is you want to grab that light piece right there, that one there, the one down here, and basically just kind of scan that with your eyes as I move across, and you'll notice all of the little fine scratches and stuff. And so that's pretty typical of a paint shop, you know, because they know that you're going to come get the car, you'll be excited to get it and everything else, and they know you're going to be polishing on it and everything else. Technically, they should have probably polished it a little bit more. But this was a really good price to have this done. Remember, I'm not really going to talk about pricing too much on this channel, because that's just really not what it's about. It's more about the cars. you know, and this car is so beautiful. It really is. Obviously, there's no trim on it, anything like that. And we will see this car again. This thing's so pretty. I'm gonna go to the owner's house, you know, when it's done, and we'll check this thing out. We'll meet the owner, you know, and we'll see how the car's doing. Funny enough, these are the wheels that were actually on my Galaxy when I purchased the car. I bought the car from the owner of this car, and I went and actually rescued it. I pulled it out of the garage and everything with that trailer. Now I've known the owner of this car a good portion of my life, since my teenage years. He's kind of like a second dad to me. So, you know, when it comes to cars and stuff, you know, he's my go-to for Fords, anything classic really. And so when he got that Galaxy that I have now, it's a really clean car. Not as clean as this. This thing was really just next level clean. I would show you the speedo in this car. However, the speedo is not the correct speedo for this car, because the speedometer that was in this car was bouncing all around. And so he wanted to fix that, which actually shows the correct mileage for the car, which, like I was saying, was 8,000 miles. Now this car does have a 302 in it. Sorry, I'm trying to be very careful. Let me put the camera down so I don't end up scratching anything on this car. So originally this car came with a 289. At some point in its life, it got an upgrade to a 302, which 289, 302, you really can't tell the difference. You can when you drive it though. I know this is like mine. Oh no, it does actually, it has a separate latch, okay. So, like I was saying before, our plan with this car is to actually do a bored and stroked small block, 427, no blower, no turbos, no nothing like that. Just naturally aspirated, nice and mean. And you know, the look for this car is basically sleeper. You won't know what's under the hood as long as it's not running, of course, because of a motor that we're talking about. With it running, you'll know. You'll know right off the bat. So there's no hiding the car when it's running. However, when it's sitting still at a car show, you'd never know. You'd just think this is a nice clean Fairlane, 63 Fairlane. And it is super clean. Let me get you in the inside. Now remember, this thing's all stripped out. So we're thinking that the seat was redone. The original owner of this car, like I said, worked at an airport, and he drove it a mile or so up the road at some desert airport. And he did that from brand new until whenever. And what he had done is he had painted the car. Now this is the original color of the car. He painted the car silver to match his airplane. And then we're thinking that he redid the interior too, because if I remember correctly, that's not right. But that is the original carpet. Yeah, you know, it's dirty, but you know, that's okay. And then the dashboard, if I remember, I can't remember if the dashboard and the doors were actually painted. I think they were. They were painted the same color. You notice the color scheme of the seat, and then it kind of goes into the door. So if I remember correctly, this is not the original color, but the exterior now is the original color. And from what I understand, this is some seafoam green that was a 1-year color. They made very few of them. And honestly, it's gorgeous. I love the color. I really hope that this GoPro can pick up the color of this car, because it's amazing. It really is. There's always work to be done, but the paint really is nice. So what I'm doing with the car is I'm going to put the Dakota Digital gauges in it. Right now, those are the factory gauges. You know, I love the 60s and the gauges that they did. Everything was so awesome back then. You know, they really took time and tried to make it this really cool thing. Not that they don't these days, but everything is just so, you know, I don't know, plasticky or something. You know, even the steering wheel is beautiful. He's gonna go to I think a Mustang GT steering wheel, which doesn't really hurt this car. It's not anything, you know, crazy special. And all the things that he's doing to it, you could always go backwards with. But, so this isn't like a really rare car, again, like the 7-liter or anything. So, doing the small block 427, one will fit underneath the hood of this car, because that's a problem, putting a big engine in this thing. You see the shock towers, how close they are to the engine. And this has just got a little 302 in it. And then two, you know, it's just awesome. So this thing is really cool. It's hard, you know, you get something out of the paint shop and you want to stare at it for hours just because of how cool it actually is. Wait till all of the trims on it, all the badging and everything. He's spent a lot of time finding all brand new NOS pieces, parts, polishing all of the parts that need to be polished. He's going to go through and do black out everything the way it's supposed to be. So he's going to redo the core support and the inner fenders and all that kind of stuff. So in the end, all of that will be nice and black. It looks like we can actually see some of the original color of the car. So if we come up here, let me get the camera bent up. It's dirty, but that's the actual original color. So it's still here. It's in the fender too. They didn't shoot into the fender. So you can see, you know, original color, new. Of course, this is faded and a little bit dirty. If I clean that up, it would look a little closer. But if I just kind of wipe this off a little bit, you can see how close that is. That's so cool. Underneath the hood is all original. Yeah. Anyways, I just want to get you guys in here. You know, these kind of cars really just, you know, they're so cool. Honestly, they are. If you're a car guy, you know, this kind of stuff is just really cool. I like, you know, I like Chevys, I like Fords, I like all of them. But you know, and some I like more than others. You know, I personally, I would have never, you know, I would have never tracked down a car like this to have it. It seems like all the cool ones kind of fall in his lap. Again, that's how I got my 65. And wait until I show you underneath of that car. Underneath that car is, it's crazy how clean it is. You know, that little video that I put out with the front wheel spinning and stuff, you could kind of see underneath there. But wait till I get it up in the air and you see the perfect primer. It's not dulled down or anything from the factory. It's crazy. That was actually original 54,000 miles. This is original 7,000 or 8,000 miles. Hard cars to come across, but when you come across them, you know, you can't let them go. So this is going to be a fun project. So let me see. Oh, here's the gauges here. So let me put you down over here. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Get you down over here. I haven't seen these yet. Pretty much know what Dakota Digital gauges look like, though. They all pretty much look the same. The guy bought it from So one of the things the owner of this car did is he called Dakota Digital to order it direct from them. They didn't have any in stock, but what they did do was they sent him to one of their vendors that actually did have it in stock. So this is what you get when you order Dakota Digital. It's just a cluster. You have to put it in your own bezel and stuff. Of course, that's what you would want to do anyways. He wanted to keep it nice and classic with the black, with the white, and then just the white lights when they come on. So this one's really easy to install. It's going to look it's a bit modern, but it gives you all of your gauges, which is cool. No idiot lights or anything else like that. You can actually physically watch everything. Of course, speedo and attack. Then you have a digital readout for your odometer, and it can tell you other stuff too. I forgot what this one will tell you. Maybe you just put a clock there or something. I don't know. I know it's like you can make it whatever you want, so you can change it around quite a bit. So basically that's what you get. I mean, there is an installation packet with wires and sensors and all that kind of stuff. But let's get over here, and I want to show you the car versus the new gauges, so you can take a look. And then, these aren't for everybody. Some people don't like them. I personally, on a retro mod or something like that, I think they look really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you off the stand. There we go. And then I'm going to get you pointed at the gauge cluster. And so that's the gauge cluster that's in the car. It's really pretty. Of course it is. It's from the 60s. It's a beautiful cluster. But then I'm going to go ahead and put this right here, so you can kind of see, you see a lot of reflection of me, really is what you see. But so that's what you get, old versus new. But you'll see over here, all you get's, generator light, temperature gauge, right and left turn signal. I was wondering, why did this say right over here? Because on this side it says left. Then you got your oil, idiot light, and your gas gauge. No tack. So with a big, I think we're planning on 500 horsepower, small block naturally aspirated in this car. A tack would be nice. It really would be nice. And these don't look, they look pretty good. Yeah, it's modern. Of course it's modern. But I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. Dakota Digital could have done something a little bit more retro with it. But if you notice, one thing Dakota Digital does is all their gauges, they all look very similar to each other. They really don't do much as far as the like the script and that kind of stuff. Kind of reminds me of 80s Chevrolet or something. But not bad. The one for my Galaxy is sweeping, because the Galaxy is sweeping. So they do have to stay somewhat, they have to conform to, how the gauge actually fits and how it would work. On my car, the radio was part of the gauge up here on this side. And so what they do is they delete the radio. Of course, you're not going to use it anyways. And then they put all your gauges on this side. And then over here, you've got your sweeping speedometer and attack, I think, on that side, if I remember correctly. But again, they all follow kind of the same letters and look. But really easy to install. Let me get you out here. Again, sorry, I got you looking at the sink and stuff. But these are real easy to install. What you have is on the back here is just like a network cable. So when you pull those gauges out, all you do is pop these in, and then that part's done. And it's literally that easy. You take the screws out of that one, you take the screws out of, and put the screws from that one into this one, and boom, it's installed. Then the hard part is getting that little module that goes in there, and then all of your wires go into that module. And once you've got that module completely wired up, all you do at that point is just take that network cable, plug it into the module, plug it into the back of here, mount that in the car, and you're done. You do have to go through and calibrate the fuel and the speed or tack. I think it was fuel and speed, I think, are the two things that we had to calibrate on the last one that we did. So really easy to do, though. Of course, Dakota Digital, they give you the scan, the QR code, so you can see the directions and whatnot. Of course, when you spend that much money, they kind of have your back. So that's going to be the next project in the shop. I told him about 3 or 4 days on this car because I want to go through and make sure the wiring's done right. I'm not just going to throw it all together. So take a few days on this car. My car, I got the booster in today, the new booster. So after we're done talking here, I'm going to go check that and make sure that fits. But basically, I'm done for today. This was a long day. I had to do a lot of stuff in the morning for the owner. And then it was a long drive to get down to pick this car up, and a long drive in traffic all the way back. And driving in traffic with a car this nice on your trailer, man, that's, you know, it's definitely something else. So I'll probably make the introduction to this car its own episode, because I'm looking at the time right now. I've got 18 minutes so on this. We got the time picking it up and the time taking it off the trailer and showing you the car. So I'll probably make this part 1 of the 63, and then part 2 we'll actually be working on doing the wiring, putting the gauges in, that kind of stuff. But I want to get that done, and I need to get the brakes in my car. My car is going to be a lot harder because I got to do the booster, and then I got to custom make all of the brake lines all the way to the back of the car. So there's going to be a little bit of work in that, but I got to get that thing moving again. So super important. The Galaxy, I still got to get the parts out of the inside. But if you notice, one thing that I did do, let me just kind of do a circle here in the shop, is I cleaned up pretty good. So I got this table over here now and this little cart. Those are for the Galaxy. Put a lot of the fuel injection parts there in the back behind the Galaxy, but everything is cleaned up. It was getting to the point where it was hard to work on stuff because I didn't know where the tools were. So I had to take a little bit of time and clean up. I do love keeping a shop like this. It's very hard to keep a shop this clean. You know, the other thing that I was running into was the actual parts for the Galaxy. So I made them their own little hole right here in the back. So they're nice and safe, laid out. So I had some cleanup to do, basically, is what I'm saying. But now we're back on track, and I got some more parts for the 65 hardtop. I got a new solenoid for the 65 convertible. I've got a lot of parts that came in. So that's going to be next. We'll put this together. I'll get the brakes on that. Until then, thanks guys for watching. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. If you hit that bell, it gives you notifications on when I release new videos. As of right now, there's no set time on when I'm releasing videos. I'm just trying to get them out, basically, is what I'm trying to do. Trying to get enough out there so people can really get involved. You know, I hate sitting there waiting for that next episode to come out. I'm not going to do them once a week. I'm going to do them as many as I can. If I can do 5, 6, 7 a week, I'll do 5, 6, 7 a week. It's really hard. The editing part is not fun. But I'm going to try and get as much out there for you as I can. If there's anything you want to see, anything you want me to slow down on, please throw it in the comments. Go on to bumwithawrench.com. You can send me emails from there. If you want to just send me an email, it could be just send it to daniel@bumwithawrench.com, and that'll come through, and I'll get that. So if there's anything you guys want to see, anything you want me to slow down on, or you just want to say, hey, you know, you look funny in your hat, or you know, hey, you're doing a good job, you know, feel free. So all right, until then, guys, I'll see you next time.